Okay guys, I literally have you propped up on a water bottle in this car. It's the Jeep. I don't have a holder for my phone or camera. I didn't bring the Suburban out today, but whatever. Let's get to talking because you know the car is like going to be the most quiet spot. I just dropped Mason off at school. Hopefully no one thinks I look crazy right now talking to you guys on the camera, and I just wanted to do it while I was parked and not driving. So there's a lot to unbox in this video. As you guys saw, the pregnancy test came back positive. I have not had an appointment yet with an OB or anything like that. It's way too early, which I need to call them today. The mistake I made last time was going too early to my OB when I had Max, and not being able to do the proper testing and things like that. So I basically wasted a drive all the way down another county, about an hour away, came back, and then had to repeat that. The doctors that I see are so far away because where I live, they don't have any new practices, and the practices that they do have, there's just two. They're inundated, and I've never experienced them before, so I don't really want to switch now. So let's talk about symptoms and things like that and how I kind of suspected that I was pregnant. So 2 days ago, my husband was driving us all home from Mason's school, and it's very like hilly and back roads and country to get back to our house. Like that's the quickest way home. And we were going over these hills. I just felt so nauseous. Like I felt like I was on a roller coaster, and I hate roller coasters. That was one indication. Two was that my husband was on the phone talking very, very loudly next to me in the car, and it was bothering me so bad. I already have sensitive ears, but I'm like super, super sensitive when I'm pregnant, like to sounds for some reason. I don't know if that's normal. Have you guys ever experienced that or know of anyone that's experienced that? Because the sound was literally echoing like in and out of my ear. It was just so bothersome. I kept yelling at him like, quiet down, quiet down. And he's just naturally a loud person, so it was really hard for him. So that was another thing. Then the following day, I decided to go to the gym, like the regular gym for leg day. I took a pre-workout, which is my usual Alani Nu pre-workouts, and I felt really gross taking it. Like I just felt like it didn't give me the energy that I normally get. I felt nauseous. I felt really dizzy. So I came home. The sun was bothering my eyes. I thought it was just really odd for the pre-workout to do that. So that was like another suspicion that I had, that I was just having such a weird reaction to it. It was almost like that pre-workout shouldn't be in my body. Like my body was rejecting it. Like it just knew that that's not like something healthy you should be taking while pregnant. So that was like a big indication to me. So I was playing with the boys outside, and it was so sunny. It was just bothering my eyes. I was getting super hot super easily. I was drenched from the gym, which normally I go and I sweat a little bit, but not like drenched like that. So I was drenched. So that's another thing. I get really, really hot when I'm pregnant. So I'm so glad that I will be at my largest when it's cold outside, because honestly, being pregnant in the summer, I did it both times. It was really brutal. I was 9 months pregnant in July and August. So that was really difficult for me. I was so swollen, so hot at all times. So this time I will be mainly larger in the March and April time frame. I think I'm going to be due around May 8th from what I've calculated, but I will let you guys know in a future vlog what I find out when I go to my OB appointment once I make that and what they say. So hopefully I'll go a little bit early and be more towards the April side versus May, because I don't do the summer heat. I just don't like it at all. So some initial thoughts going through my mind. I'm very excited, very happy, also very nervous because I know what's to come. Like as a first-time parent, I just focused on my pregnancy, and now I kind of see it like looking towards the future. How's it going to be with 3 kids? How are my boys going to be? Are they going to be okay? Are they going to get enough attention too? Is this baby going to be colic as well? My first 2 were extremely colic, and it was really difficult to have a crying newborn and infant for the first 6 months of their lives. So I think about that. I know my husband's gonna have a lot more work next year, so just trying to manage 3 kids by myself. And then when school starts up, I know I'm going down a rabbit hole here, but that's just kind of what comes to mind and what I'm thinking about. So I just thought I would share my honest thoughts with you. And then I also think about being very largely pregnant and then having to keep up with 2 toddlers. That's going to be a challenge. But I know many women before me have done it and many women after me will do it. So there's strength in knowing that. And I know many of you guys here on YouTube have multiple kids. So I definitely, you know, seek any of your advice or recommendations, tips, tricks. Please let me know all of them down below or in future videos. I would just love to be mentally and physically prepared for all of this. I will be surviving on coffee, I'm sure, when the time comes. But yeah, that is my exciting news. It's going to be a wild ride for sure. So just kind of, I'm still in like the shock process, kind of soaking it all in and just kind of, you know, realizing it's real. Like, it doesn't seem real, but it does. So I'm just trying to keep in mind, you know, you're only pregnant for such a little time. And I generally enjoyed both of my pregnancies prior. The only thing, well, the only couple of things was that being pregnant in the summer really stunk. And then during the pandemic, it was just so difficult when that all first happened, being pregnant with Max and having him in 2020. I think I'm gonna head home now. I just got a phone call, so that interrupted me vlogging. Lost my train of thought. That's another thing. I get pregnancy brain really easily. But I just wanted to let you know that my channel is gonna be pretty much the same around here. I'm still gonna be doing all of my holiday videos, the things that I normally do, with some pregnancy related content as well, because that's really what's going on in my life. So I wanna keep it real on my channel, relatable, and hopefully you guys will still follow along and enjoy it all. But please leave any words of encouragement, wisdom, or anything like that if you have more than 2 kids, and down in the comments below. I would love to know your thoughts. Was it an easy transition from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, however many you have? I'd love to know. So yeah, another thing I wanted to mention is I did have carpal tunnel when I had Max. You guys might remember, so hopefully that doesn't pop back up, but I'm prepared with my wrist brace if it does. Random thought of the day. So yeah, that pretty much covers my initial thoughts and reactions. So I thought I would do like a recap of how I was feeling, especially between weeks 6 and 7. And then if I have any other footage from weeks moving forward, I will add that in today's video. Obviously, I'm filming this way before you guys know or are seeing that I am pregnant. So I'm trying to keep up so I can give you guys an idea what I'm going through with baby number 3. If you are pregnant too, maybe you will find some of these tips helpful, or if you just want to compare symptoms, is that, you know, do we have the same things or don't we? So we don't know the gender of the baby just yet. Obviously, I'm only 7 weeks now, today actually, so I thought it would be the perfect day to film. And I have all of my symptoms typed out right here, because I didn't want to forget anything, even though it's hard to forget when you're feeling certain ways. But the first symptom that I logged was fatigue. So I have really bad fatigue on and off, where I'll just get so tired. And I'm the type of person that I don't like to sit during the day, because once I sit, that drains me. I have to keep going and moving. And that's the way I've always been to get through my days as a mom. Like, I always have to be doing something, always have to be moving. And that's just what keeps me going. So it's really hard when I don't feel my best and I need to sit down or lay down, because then that kind of just wipes me out for the entire day. Today I'm feeling pretty good, so that's why I decided to pull out the camera. I also have a lot of like tummy aches, and I wouldn't say aversions to certain foods, but kind of all foods aren't tasting the best right now. I had ice cream yesterday, and I love ice cream, and it just didn't taste the same to me. It just tasted like sugary in my mouth and on my teeth. Like, my mouth and teeth, I feel like get really sensitive when I'm pregnant, and I always am constantly like brushing my mouth and my teeth multiple times a day. This happened last time too, so maybe it's a boy. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think boy or girl? I think I'm gonna go with boy right now, because I already have 2 boys, so I just picture myself as having another boy, and that's what it is. So I'm thinking another boy. And then also I will wake up with stomach pains, and I don't really want food. Like, I'll force myself to have breakfast, lunch, and then usually by the evening, like by the time I'm laying in bed for the night is when I'll want something. Like, I'll want like french fries or some type of meat, which is pretty typical for me. Like, I've always wanted during my pregnancy is carbs and meat, and then later on comes the sweets for me. I've never like craved too many sweets initially. It's usually just like meat and carbs, but I don't really love the meat during the day. Like chicken and all that just doesn't sound so good to me unless it's prepared by like a restaurant or outside of the house. Like I don't really want to be preparing meats right now, which was the same for both pregnancies. Otherwise, I didn't really want to touch meat. I don't know what it is. I think with my first pregnancy, I had an aversion to meatballs. My second was scallops. One thing that's kind of grossing me out right now is shrimp. So I have not eaten any shrimp. I don't know. I just saw it one day on a day I wasn't feeling good. So now I have that like thought in my mind that shrimp are gonna be my thing. I don't have any real cravings just yet. I know those are to come. Last time I craved cookie dough. The time before that was bagels and cream cheese. But right now just all foods kind of just aren't really my thing. But the funny thing about it is I'm not losing any weight from eating less. I'm actually just staying the same. I kind of wish I would drop a few pounds so that way as I gain weight during pregnancy, it's not like so much extra on my body. I typically gain about 32 pounds, which is a lot for someone of my height. I'm only 5'2", so when I gain weight, it really shows on my body. You guys are gonna see my face is gonna get really chubby. My ankles always swell up. I had carpal tunnel last time. It's really rough on somebody who is short. If you're taller, there's more space, I feel like, for the baby to go, but on short people, you just kind of go out. So I usually look like a little Oompa Loompa by the end of my pregnancies, and that's just kind of the way it is. But with my first pregnancy, I didn't really know how to get the weight off in a healthy way. It typically takes me a full year to lose the baby weight, which is totally fine. Like losing the baby weight in a week, 6 weeks is not feasible for me and my body type. And I mentally know it's gonna take another year to lose it. But I did really well after having Max, my second son. I just ate really healthy and the weight started to come off on its own. So I'm gonna attempt to do the same thing with baby number 3 in hopes that that's really helpful. I do have a thyroid disease now, which I got after my second pregnancy. It was detected after birth. So I have to keep that under control. It's Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So I do take Synthroid, and that's being heavily monitored by my endocrinologist. So my medications are kind of fluctuating right now with the pregnancies. So that's a new thing for this pregnancy. I didn't have that with my first 2. Let's see what else. My workouts, I was doing so good on a workout schedule. I was making it to the real gym 2 times a week, my home gym a few times, and now I've kind of dropped down to 1 day a week at the real gym and just a little bit at my home gym here and there. While in the first trimester, it's always the roughest for me. And then once I start to feel better in the second trimester, I'll try and pick up more days. I do like to work out when I'm pregnant, just again to help with that extra weight, moving my body. There's little Max. He was watching his Thomas movie. He was being so good. It's his turn to pick a show and relax for a little bit. So that's what he's doing. So here he comes. Hi, Max. Are you being a ghost for Halloween? Watch your head. And then the last symptom I wanted to let you guys know about was vivid dreams. I've been having very vivid dreams. Last night, I think, what was my dream? I don't know, when I wake up, they're like super real. I was with my siblings in a car last night. I can vividly remember that, and I think we were going to get something to eat. But when I woke up, like I remembered the dream to a T. It was very bizarre. So I'm having a lot of those dreams, just very tired, stomach hurting often, but I don't have my first appointment until the end of October. Just because I live so far away from my OB, I wanted to condense as much of it as I possibly could. So that's what we are doing this time around. And I'm gonna have to log off here so I can play with this little ghost, and I will check in with you guys in a little bit.